The Anishinaabe believed that they were all connected to the earth, like she was mentioning before, and she used every part of the animal's body. And they also gave thanks to nature. The way they gave thanks is by prayers, songs, and dances, and offerings. When the Anishinaabe took something from the earth, they thought about the seventh generation, which means they thought about the future generations. There are 4 sacred plants to Anishinaabe: tobacco, sage, sweetgrass, and cedar. There were 4 they bring these plants to make an object, person, or place pure. Dreams are important to the Anishinaabe. The word for dream means vision because they thought that dreams told the future. And the Anishinaabe made dream catchers. The good dreams went through the middle, and the bad dreams got caught in the string, and when the sun came up, the bad dreams got burned by the sun. And I think she has
I have a dream catcher,
yes,
that I keep in my bedroom, and this is what they look like. And we used to think if we had bad dreams, they would just hit.
I have like a couple of
They'd
those
go
in my
right
room.
straight through. Yeah. So that is our dream catcher. And you talked about the different grasses. And this is my sage. This is what I use more than anything else. And the sage, you would take some of it and you burn it. And this was given to me not too many years ago, that I could burn my sage in here, so I could do it in my house. And you burn it, and then when the smoke comes out, then you should take an eagle feather, and as the smoke comes, you can do this, and then you say some prayers, and that prayers goes up to Gichimanadu, which is the Great Spirit, and you can ask for prayers for people to be blessed, or you can ask for prayers to bless your house. And so you can use sage, but they're also, and all of this has to be blessed by medicine man. So at the powwow, they bless these, and this is what I got last year, and these were all blessed and presented to me by the head of the tribe. And this has cedar in it, and it all smells really good. It was very, when my father would come home after he had killed a deer, and here is my father, and he would kill a deer, and he would, he had to eat the heart and the liver, the first part of the heart or the liver, that had to be cooked first for him, and he had to have that first. But before he ate, he would thank the deer. He didn't make a big deal about it. He would just very quietly thank the deer for giving its life to feed his family and to keep us sustained for the season. And when my mother, we would go out harvesting wild rice, or when she got something from the garden, or the first berries that we got, my mother would take a little spoon and she would go out in the yard and she would dig a little hole and she would put just a little bit of the rice in there, and then she would thank Gichimanadu for giving us the rice. Or if it was blueberries or something, she would just take just a little bit, put it in there, and say a prayer and thank Gichimanadu for the berries for our family.
Did the berries ever grow up in your yard?
No, no, they grew in the woods. The rice didn't grow there either.
The life for the Anishinaabe changed when the Europeans arrived in North America in the early 1600s. Europeans brought sicknesses with them like smallpox, measles, and tuberculosis, and many Anishinaabe people died. Europeans also brought alcohol and guns with them, and it changed the way the Anishinaabe lived. Instead of only taking what they needed when they hunted, Europeans took as much as they could, which led to animal extinction in some areas. The Anishinaabe did not have any food, and they needed to move to find food to survive. When they moved, it sometimes caused wars because they had to move into other people's territories.
Yes, and my father, he did a lot of hunting. My brothers did hunting. We always had guns, but when they came to the house, they had to clean the gun and hand them to my father, and then he would put them up on a shelf, and the shelf would be locked so that there would never be accidents or anything with guns. And they always had good guns, but they could not understand how people would come up, men would come up and go hunting, and they would kill something and they wouldn't even take it. I mean, they would, So my father didn't understand killing for sport. He only understood killing to feed the family. And my brothers were the same way. And so that was something that they in India, you could say it in Indian, that you kill for the fun of it. And that's wrong. And my father taught a lot of good things to us. And when I was a young girl, I used to get kind of mad sometimes if people were not very nice to me, and especially when I went to a white high school, and I came home and I would be very angry about something they did. And my father explained it this way, and I think this is true today for people that are angry with each other. He says, we all have two wolves in us. You have two wolves. You have a good wolf and you have a bad wolf. The bad wolf is angry, the bad wolf is selfish, the bad wolf wishes bad things on people, the bad wolf doesn't want to listen to the good things. The good wolf, on the other hand, wants to help people. The good wolf is kind, the good wolf is thinking about beauty, and so there's these two wolves inside of you. And he said to me, which one are you going to feed? You can only feed one at a time. So when something bad happens, which wolf are you going to feed?
Did you always say the good one?
I was tried, but sometimes, it doesn't always work. So I thank my father for that. Because his picture is on my refrigerator. And every once in a while, when I'm feeling kind of sorry for myself, and I go by the refrigerator, I look at my dad, and I say, okay, Daddy, I know what you're saying. You're saying, which wolf are you feeding? One time we were out in the woods, and I was just a little girl. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, maybe. And my little brother, I was 4 actually, my little brother, Frankie, was a baby. And we got stuck out in the woods. And because my father's car went down into the mud, there was a big thaw and the car was stuck there. And so he said, we have to walk out to Fastine's store and take some of our sugar and something and trade it for some flour because we'd run out of flour. And my mother couldn't even make us pancakes or anything because we didn't have any flour. So we had to walk out to Fastine's store, and it was probably about 2 or 3 miles. I thought it was 100 miles because I was 4 years old. And we were walking, and I got jealous because my dad was carrying Frankie on a pack sack on his back. And my mother was carrying syrup, and my grandma and grandpa were carrying sugar and syrup to go and trade. And I got jealous because Frankie was on my dad's back, and I thought I was my dad's little girl. So I started whining. I'm tired, I'm going to sit down. And so my dad said, I think you all better sit down now. I think you all better just take a rest. You're all tired, and I'll go on ahead. And so he got a big log there that they could all sit on, and my mother sat there holding Frankie. And I was there, and I was sitting there, and my dad said, I'll be coming right back in a little while. And so pretty soon my dad came back. And he came up to me and he said, Wabas ka na, Jeans? Away Wabus, away too. And he said, my little girl, my little blueberry girl, there is a rabbit up there waiting for you. And if you run, you're going to be able to get that rabbit and carry it. It'll be your pet that you can hold for a long time. And I got so excited, and we started walking, and he put Frankie back on his backpack, and he started walking, and my mother and my grandma and grandpa were going, and I'm just walking along, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and pretty soon, guess what I found? There was a rabbit beside the trail where we were walking. A rabbit. It was kind of stiff, and it was kind of cold, but I thought, I found my wabus, and I picked up this old dead rabbit. I didn't know it was dead. I picked up this rabbit, wabus, I said, and I carried it all the way to Fastine's store. My father, I know now, had set some rabbit snares up ahead because he would catch rabbit by snaring them, and that would be, we'd use it for food. And so he had found a rabbit in his snare and just stuck it on the side, and that's how he got me to go walking without whining so much.